Good morning, dear students. Yes, in the previous class, I have taught you about the Bangalore divisions, forest, wild animals, and national parks, and also the history and the natural resources of Bangalore division. Yes, so Kolar district has a hot climate, and whereas the Shimoga district it gets highest rainfall. Yes, and also Chitradurga district which receives lowest rainfall. Yes, so this is about the climate of the Bangalore division, and there are so many rivers that flows in the Western Ghats or that originate in the Western Ghats and flow over the Bangalore division. So they are Uttara Pinakini, Dakshina Pinakini, Vedavati, Shimsha, Tungabhadra, Sharavati, Varda, and so many others rivers. Okay, so river Sharavati it flows in the western direction and world's famous, that is Jog Falls. So that is in Shimoga district, and there are so many waterfalls are there. So like Mutyalamudu waterfalls, that is in Bangalore district, and Kashnuru and the Tunga dams are in Shimoga district. And the Bangalore division it has numerous tanks, and also Mysore Kings they have constructed many dams. So Vani Vilas Dam is one such irrigation project, and that is in Hirura Taluku of Chitradurga district. Yes, another dam is Markonhalli Dam of Tumkur district. It is also important dam. And also in the Karnataka there is a gold mine in the Kolar gold mine, and now that gold mine deposit of exhausted. Yes, now it is exhausted. So also Shimoga district it has the dense forest as you know, and Bangalore division, that is Bangalore urban district, is the least forest. And also we can find the evergreen forest and the deciduous forest in the Bangalore division, and the Sahyadri mountain range it passes through the border of Shimoga district. Yes, and the highest or the tallest mountain in the Bangalore division is Halu Rameshwara Gudda, that is in Chitradurga district. Yes, other famous mountains are also there like Kavaledurga, yes, Chandragutti, Kodachadri, and Nandidurga. Yes, these are the some important mountains. So this division, that is Bangalore division, has many wild animals like wild cat, tiger, leopard, bison, wild pig, deer, and bear. Yes, and wolf are some of the important wild animals of the Bangalore division. So there are so many national parks, and the wildlife sanctuaries is there. So Bannirghatta National Park it is in Bengaluru, and Bhadra Wildlife Sanctuary is there. Sharavati Wildlife Sanctuary is there. Shettihalli Wildlife Sanctuary is there. Guduvi Bird Sanctuary and Mandagatte Bird Sanctuary they are in Shimoga district, and Kakkaladu Bird Sanctuary that is in Tumkuru district, and Ramadevara Betta, that is Vulture Sanctuary in Ramanagara district. Yes, and also Jaimangali Blackbuck Sanctuary that is in Tumkuru. Yes, so these are the some important bird sanctuaries and national parks and wildlife sanctuaries of the Bangalore division. So let us see agriculture and growth of industries. Yes, so agriculture is the main occupation of the people in Bangalore division. Yes, and agriculture it is a backbone of our India. Yes, so among 100%, so 65% of people they are depending on the agriculture sector. Yes, and the Bangalore division has more dry land agriculture. Yes, so it has dry land agriculture, that is they are depending on the rain. Yes, and the agricultural activities is rain dependent, that is the agriculture activities are depending on the rain. Yes, Shimoga district it is well irrigated area. Yes, so Shimoga district it has a abundant water source. Yes, and this division has sand mixed red soil. Yes, the Bangalore division, it has a sand mixed red soil. Yes, then tell me which types of soil in our Kalaburagi district. Yes, in Kalaburagi district there is a black soil. Yes, so black soil is also available in some parts of the Bengaluru division. Yes, and the main crops of this division are ragi, maize, paddy, groundnuts and various pulses. Yes, so red soil, that is sand mixed red soil, it is suitable for the crops like ragi. Yes, that is grown in the southern part of Karnataka, that is Bengaluru division. Yes, and also maize and paddy, groundnuts and various pulses. Yes, along with that they also grow coconut, arecanut, cotton, sugarcane and other crops. Yes, so mulberry. Yes, mulberry, which is the backbone of silk industry. Yes, and is cultivated in Bengaluru and Ramnagara district. Yes, mulberry, it is a type of silk. Yes, so it is a backbone of silk industry. Yes, so that is grown in the Bengaluru and Ramnagara district only. So therefore Ramnagara is very famous for the silk industry market. Yes, so there are so many markets of silk industry in the Ramnagara. Yes, and they also grown fruits like sapota, papaya, jackfruit, orange and banana are grown in this division. Yes, so ragi and rice are the major staple food of this division. Yes, have you heard about ragi mudde? Yes, so that is a very famous crops of the Bengaluru division. Yes, ragi and the rice, these are the staple food of the Bengaluru division. Yes, if you compare it to the Kalaburagi, in the Kalaburagi, yes, the Kalaburagi is known as a Togri Nadu or Tuldal Nadu. Yes, so like that, so ragi and rice, they are the major or the staple food of the Bengaluru division. So rotis made of ragi and rice are consumed more. Yes, so they make rotis that are made by ragi, or they make ragi mudde and rice. Yes, so that is their regular food. And the uses of chapatis made out of wheat flour is more in recent time. Yes, in the recent times, in the nowadays they are also having chapatis that are made by the wheat flour. Yes, so sweets like paisa, holige, khichdi, shavige are consumed during festivals. Yes, in the festivals they make some sweets like paisa. Yes, shavige paisa. Yes, and the holige. Yes, and khichdi, shavige. Yes, they made these sweets on the special festivals. Yes, so the government has established agriculture produce market. Yes, so you can observe here crops grown in Bengaluru division. Yes, yes, so as I have informed you, so the main crops of this division are ragi, maize and paddy and groundnuts and various pulses, and also they grow coconut, arecanut and cotton, sugarcane and others. Yes, next one is agriculture produce market. Yes, that is Krishi Utpanna Marukate Samiti, that is in Shivamogga district. So the government has established the agriculture produce market in all the talukas and district headquarters. Yes, so here the farmers can sell their produce directly. Yes, the farmers whatever they grown they can sell in this agriculture produce market, and the government make a list, that is minimum price. They give minimum price to their product, and The government has also established granaries or warehouses in all the district and taluka headquarters. Yes. So the farmers, they grow so many crops, yes, like ragi, maize, paddy, and groundnuts, whatever they grown. So they have to want some warehouses to save their products. So therefore, the government has Karnataka. They have also established granaries or warehouses in the district and taluka headquarters. Yes. So next. The farmers can store their produce in the warehouses. Yes. So farmers, they can store their produce in the warehouses. So let us see Sir M. Vishwesvaraya. Yes. So Sir M. Vishwesvaraya, so he is the founder of our state's industrial sector, and he implemented the forethought of Krishnaraja Wadiyar IV. Yes. If we don't establish industries now, we cannot attain progress. Yes, it shows the importance of industries. Yes, if you don't establish any industries now, so then we cannot attain a progress. Yes, how? Justify me? Yes. Yes, if you establish one company or one industries in a particular area, so that particular areas people get the job in that company. Yes, and their living standard, it will automatically increase. Yes, so many people get job in that industries, and along the living standard, it is also increase. Yes, and the basic amenities, that is road and light, yes, and the transport, these are grown very rapidly because that area become as an industrial area. Yes, so therefore, if you don't establish industries now, we cannot attain progress. Yes, and big industries have been established in places like Bengaluru, Bhadravati, Tumukuru, Shivamogga, and other places. Yes, in the time of Sir M. Vishwesvaraya. Yes, so they established so many big industries in the Bengaluru, Bhadravati, Tumukuru, Shivamogga, and other places. So Bengaluru is the most important industrial place in India. Yes, so Bengaluru, it is known as the ITBT hub. Yes, Bengaluru, it is known also Silicon City. Yes, so many companies are located in the Bengaluru. Yes, which are related to the information technology. Yes, and there is an iron and steel industry in Bhadravati of Shivamogga district. Yes, so iron and steel industry, that is located in the Bhadravati of Shivamogga district. Yes, and it was established in the year 1923. Yes, in the 1923, iron and steel industry, that is in Bhadravati of Shivamogga district, it was established in the year 1923. And now it is called as a Vishwesvaraya Iron and Steel Industry Limited, that is VISL. Yes, Vishwesvaraya Iron and Steel Industries Limited. Yes, so there is a paper production factory here. Yes, in the Bhadravati, there is also established a paper production factory. Yes, so it was established in 1936. Yes, so paper production factory, it was established in the year 1936. So tell me, who invented paper? Yes, who invented paper? Don't you know? Okay, Chinese, they invented the paper. Yes, and the first cement factory of the state was established in Bhadravati. Yes, the first cement factory, yes, which was established in Bhadravati. And the Birla cement factory is in Ammasandra of Tumkuru district. Yes, next one is the Birla cement factory, that is in Ammasandra of Tumkuru district. Yes, and also Bangalore is known for information technology and biotechnology industries, and industries are the main sources of employment. Yes, lot of people get employment opportunity if their industries located. Otherwise, they are depending on the agriculture sector only. Yes, and Karnataka is ranked second in the export of garments in India. Yes, so Karnataka is the second ranked in the exporting of garments in India. The government has established apparel parks in cities like Doddaballapur, Anikal to promote the production of ready-made garment. Yes, to promote the production of ready-made garments, the government of Karnataka, they have established two ready-made, that is apparel parks in the cities like Doddaballapur and Anikal. Yes, and industries like aeronautics, electronics, and information technology and biotechnology are active in Bengaluru. Yes, there are so many industries that are related to the aeronautics, that is HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Yes, and electronics, that is BEML, Bharat Earth Movers Limited. Yes, BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electronics Limited is there, and information technology, so many information technology and the biotechnology industries are located in the Bengaluru. Yes, therefore Bengaluru is known as a Silicon City. Yes, and the some of these industries are public companies and many are private companies. Yes, among the so many companies, so some companies are public companies, that is government companies are there, and some companies are private companies. So this is all about the agriculture and growth of industries. Yes, the contribution the contribution towards the industrial sector of Sir M. Visvesvaraya is very important in our Karnataka's economy. Yes, because he had established so many industries in Karnataka, and therefore so he is known as the Sir M. Visvesvaraya, as founder of our state industrial sector. Yes, so this is all about agriculture and growth of industries, and there is a video of Sir M. Visvesvaraya. Yes, so watch that video, and I hope all of you understood this. Thank you.
Mokshagundam Visvesvaraya, the father of Indian engineering, was born to an orthodox poor family of Muddenahalli near the Nandi Hills, 60 kilometers away from Bangalore. He was born on 15 September 1961. He went on to become the greatest engineers the world has ever seen. Visvesvaraya is an excellent example of a poor boy realizing his dreams. He is said to have studied under the light of a lamppost during his childhood, yet he was able to achieve great heights as a person, an engineer and a statesman.
Visvesvaraya's mother Venkachamma was a very strong-willed person. In fact, it was she who molded his character. His maternal uncle Ramaya was also instrumental in shaping his career, and then it was he who persuaded Visvesvaraya to accept the government service in Mysore state.
Visvesvaraya is considered as the father of the modern Indian industrialization. His contributions to the field of engineering is beyond comparison.
Sir M. Vishweshwaraya passed his BA in 1880. Diwan Rangacharlu was so impressed by him that he offered a government scholarship for him to continue his engineering at Pune. During his stay at Pune, he started the Deccan Club. He made many friends. Among the best were Ranade, Gokhale and Bal Gangadhar Tilak.
The biggest contribution by MV, the design of systematic water weir gates, floodgates, which effectively reduced the suction load of the dam, giving it long life. He introduced the block system of irrigation, and he designed flood protective systems in Orissa, Bihar and Hyderabad states. If his policies were fully implemented, the recent floods in Orissa would not have taken such a heavy toll.
He started his career in Bombay when he joined the PWD as an assistant engineer. In 1915, he was awarded the title of the Knight Commander of the Indian Empire. This was Britain's way of appreciating his fertility of mind, ceaseless energy, and his sense of public duty. His contributions as the Diwan of the state of Mysore is unparalleled. He designed the KRS Dam with a large reservoir which irrigated the whole state of Mysore and brought it much prosperity. He improved the municipality boards of each taluk and started civic and social progress associations and implemented village improvement schemes. He also started the Malnad Improvement Committee and introduced efficiency audit systems all over the state. He started the SJP Polytechnic at Bangalore, which was the first step towards improving the education system in the state. He also established the Mysore University and the Mechanical Engineering School at Mysore. He started the Agricultural School at Hebbal. Another of his bold steps was the establishment of the Iron and Steel Works at Bhadravati, which even today is the largest producer of raw steel in India. Under his able leadership, many new economic features were added to the state of Mysore. This include the starting of the Karnataka Chamber of Commerce, the Mysore Economic Conference, and above all, the starting of the State Bank of Mysore, which today is one of the leading banks in the country. He designed a new system of water weir floodgates and was first to introduce the block system of irrigation in India. He also lent his expertise to the Hirakud project and to projects outside India, like the Aden water supply drainage in Egypt and the Sakar Barrage project of Pakistan. His personal favorite was the remodeling of the city of Hyderabad and Bombay. Vishweshwaraya was invited by Egypt and many other European countries to exhibit and implement his designs of the barrage type dam. He utilized every minute of his long life in the pursuit of excellence. The nation has paid tribute by conferring the highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna, in 1955.
Pandit Nehru offered him the Bharat Ratna. Sir NB in his reply asked him if he had to praise his government. If it was so, he would refuse the Bharat Ratna. I remember him during my childhood. Even though he was a person of great importance, for us, for me and my sister that is, he was never an engineer, a diwan. He was just our grandpa, and as affectionately as we called him, he was our tata.
Mokshagundam believed that men die, but ideas don't. His idea of industrialize or perish must be translated into reality. His great dream to see India prosper through industrialization must be fully implemented.